Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a true nerd, and welcome to Blueprints, a sort of exploration and narrative puzzle roguelike thing that's a bit difficult to explain, so let's just jump right in. This is much easier to understand if you just see it in action. Okay, you're joining me about an hour into this game. I played it a tiny bit already because it took me a minute to get my head around it too. But right, let's start at the beginning here. This is my house, which I just inherited. My job is to explore it. The reason being, the house comes with a rather special flipping condition. To keep this house, I need to locate the mysterious secret room 46. Despite the rather puzzling fact, the house has only got 45 rooms. Now you may be thinking, John, that doesn't sound too complicated, just, explore the house, it's gotta be in here somewhere and... Okay, funny old thing about this house. It's a bit, weird, actually. You see, I start down here, in the entrance hall. That's here at the front of the house every single day. And yes, best as I could tell, I've got to make it up here, to the top of the house. But every single day, the house layout changes. All the rooms shuffle around. And the way that random shuffling is represented is, go to, say, a random door, and you're given a choice for what's going to be behind the door. Obviously, one crucial thing to keep an eye on is the door layout. Certain rooms are going to be dead ends. So for the sake of argument, let's put one of those down right now. So okay, I have now functionally created a storeroom. Now that's good, because that gets me a tiny bit of money, a key I can use to open another door, and a gem that some rooms just sort of demand because... Not 100% sure. For some reason, sometimes you have to pay gems to enter certain rooms. So that's great, but it also means this is now a dead end. I can't go any further in this direction, meaning I've now only got two ways I can theoretically go in future. And on top of that, you may notice up in the top left there, I've got a foot meter, which is kind of like an energy meter. Every time I go into a room, I burn 1 energy. However, there are various ways to get it back. Like the guest bedroom here, that's a dead end, but on top of that, it restores 10 energy, to represent the fact, I assume, you have a quick nap in it or something. So, okay, as I just blocked off one way, I'm going to go for a basic hallway, so yeah. This room's not going to be very useful to me, but it is going to increase the number of ways I can go. And on top of that, just occasionally, you stumble across, yes, notes, some of which are helpful, and some of which fill you in on the history of the house, which might in theory help me navigate in future. I don't know. This game is, by design, very confusing. You're just figuring it out as you go. So okay, doors in the west wing potentially going to be locked. Now the question is, does that mean, yeah, if I go in this direction to the left, that increases the probability of doors being locked? It might do, I don't know. So, okay. Keep on keeping on, draw some more rooms, and you know what? I'll take the parlour. The jigsaw symbol, that means there's a puzzle in here. And I quite like the parlour, by the way, because yes, it's got a fun puzzle in here. So, the gems are in a box with a statement on it. This box has got no statement on it. The white box does not have a statement. So yes, this is one of those one person tells the truth, one person lies puzzles. If we refer to the desk here, at least one box displays only true statements, at least one displays only false, and only one has a prize in it. The other two are always empty. And naturally, because I've only got one windy McGibble, I can only open one box. So yes, either one box is telling the truth and two are lying, or one's lying, two are telling the truth. It could be either. So we just need to start off with, yes, statements we know must be true or must be false, and then work from there. So, the white box does not have a statement. Indeed it doesn't. So that is true, meaning one of these two boxes must be false. It's either, yeah, both false or one false. But the white box can't be true or false because there's nothing on it. So that would suggest that this has to be false. The gems are in a box with a statement. And if that's false, that means the gems are in a box without a statement, which would suggest they must be inside the white box here. So crack you open, and there we go. 2 gems. So, yeah, the parlour shows up a lot, nice and early on in the run. But each time the puzzle is slightly different. There's like loads of different variants of the same puzzle. Still, that means I've now got, yeah, 3 ways I could go, and 3 gems. So, okay. Let's see as we mosey onwards if we can get some more exciting rooms that we need to spend gems to enter. The den just gives me a gem, and then there's just a hallway. Honestly, yes, I see no reason why we wouldn't go for the den under the circumstances, given it's the same layout, I just get a free gem. And the bedroom, every time I enter it, I gain 2 energy. So okay, that just, you know, slows down the rate of energy attrition. I think we'll go for the den for the time being, so just mosey into here. Lovely. 1 gem on the table. Keep your eyes open for, you know, notes, other mysteries, etc, etc. So okay. Keep on keeping on, deeper and deeper into the house. I'm just going further and further north, and there we go. We've now got the ability to spend a gem in order to generate a particular building. On this occasion, a shop. But I've got, like, no gold, so there's kind of no point in doing so. Now, speaking of which, the pantry generates 4 gold. So, okay. We'll mosey in there, help myself to the gold. Beautiful. 1 note as well. Bridget, please pick up some more fruit before Friday. We've been informed we may have extra guests exploring the house next week. 50 steps should be more than enough, so I think an even spread would be 5 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges. So, right. This house is like, you know, a bit of a fun tourist attraction or something. People have been coming to explore its mysterious random corridors for some time. And speaking of which, 1 free banana gets me a tiny bit of energy back. Good. Good, good, good. So, okay. I'm now turning in this way, so I might be starting to cut off other rooms if I'm not careful. And yes, on this occasion, okay. This isn't ideal because every single room only goes to the right, which is starting to turn back on myself. So, spend money on a food, bedroom, or billiard room. I'll take the billiard room for another puzzle. So, right, on this occasion, hang on, what have we got in here, my friends? Okay, it's the dartboard. So, right. What precisely are we doing here? Right. That is back to 12. And 3 things light up. Then it resets. Hang on. Hang on. Plus, minus, multiply, divide. So, okay, hang on. Hang on. Go back to this stage. So, 9 plus 1 plus 6 would be 16. So give that a poke. Okay. Then we've moved to outer level. The next level was, yeah, minus, then multiply, then divide. So, is this 19 minus 3, and then minus 1? So it'll be 15. Okay. 17 minus 15 to 2, multiplied by 2, because we're going down the order on the chalkboard. So, okay, 2 by 2 is 4. Then, 2 minus 1. So, 1 multiplied by 13 is just 13. And, okay. We've solved that. And that gets me a silver key. Unlock a door with a silver key, and that will lead to a room with many doors. So, right. If I'm getting a bit stuck and I'm worried, use that silver key to guarantee the next room's going to have more stuff in it. The problem being I'm now going, yeah, back towards the hallway and the den. Still, no reason not to open up a shortcut here, so, okay, a straight up corridor, a chapel, or the observatory. And yes, every time you choose the observatory, drafting, to use the game's lingo, yeah, it gets better and better. So yeah, I've been in here before, in previous runs. If we just kind of, yeah, go over to the book here. The first time you come in, you just get 1 gold, because there's 1 star. And then the twins, the second time you come in, trunks in the entrance hall, plus 3 steps from the slice, and I think that's what I'm up to. So just go over to the McGibble, and there we go. Third time I've been in here, because I've been in here previously, and therefore, I just get some steps back. This also brings me, yes, into a situation where now the only way I can go is either retrace all my steps, so that would burn a lot of energy, or alternatively, yeah, take this door here. And ideally, I would like to be able to turn right to create a shortcut between this area and the entrance hall. So, okay. I'm going to, yes, take the dining room, because by the looks of it, that should mean now this is where we started. Right here, I've now opened up this path. Had I created a dead end, this would just be like boarded off. It wouldn't exist anymore. So, okay. Made it to the dining room. Not sure I've seen this one before. This is new to me, I think. Best I can tell, and nothing particularly exciting going on here. But a meal will be served here after I get to rank 8. Rank referring to how far you are through the building. So these right here are currently rank 3 for the simple reason that's where I've placed them. Okay, we're also getting a bit, yes, short on ways to proceed. So I've got to be a bit careful at this point because I'm down to 1 door. So okay, come over to here. And right, we can't do the closet, so that would end this day functionally. The nook, that would turn into a dead end, so that wouldn't work either. So okay, we've got to go for the chapel. But red seems to mean, like, bad. On this occasion, yeah, going into the chapel costs me money. And every time I pass through it again, it's going to do the same. So, right, that right there, that's now a dead end, because, yes, it should lead to the billiard room, but there's no door there in the billiard room. So, I've still only got, yes, one way I can proceed. This way. I don't think there's anything I can... Oh, hang on. Okay, never mind, the chapel's paid for itself. Gotcha. Handful of money there, that will flipping do. Though if I keep going, you know, back through this area to get to earlier areas for any reason, that could potentially cause a problem. Secret passage. Leads to a room of a colour of your choice. Okay, but does that mean, yes, a room I've already seen, or a different brand new room? I'm not going to take that one right now, because if it's actually a dead end and just a shortcut back to a previous room, yes, at that point I wouldn't be able to do anything. So we'll take the bedroom, because the bedroom is turning left. It gets me some energy back anyway, which is good. And now we're moving in the right direction, together with, yes, finding the odd little document. Greetings from Reddington, which is where we are, I think. But yes, many rooms have just got things in them. Like, say, a picture of this woman. Who is this woman? I've no idea. But yes, as you explore more, start reading documents, looking at things, you might slowly start piecing the family history together. So yes, in a way, this game's kind of like a weird, puzzly Gone Home. And also there's a weird statue here. Okay. Can't interact with it, but it's a bit on the weird side. Keep on keeping on, move upwards, and yes, if we can, start creating multiple ways to go. Guest bedroom, kitchen, spare room. Honestly, I'm kind of okay in terms of, yeah, energy, which is what food does. That just replenishes energy, so we'll take a basic spare room, purely because that just keeps me moving in the right direction. Spare room's got nothing in it as far as I can see. So yeah, we're now proceeding in the right direction. And right, as we go further and further in, things are going to get more complicated and potentially more expensive. But I will happily take a passageway. Alright, spending 2 gems in order to open up the number of ways I can go. That is a good idea. So okay, bit of a backstage area here. But now we're moving in the right direction. And I've got a bit more freedom to, yes, just start exploring wherever I want to go. And okay, a drawing room strikes me as a good idea as well. That opens up another way to go. A nook would guarantee me a key, but I've got 1 key already. And a closet would be 2 items, but it's a dead end and they're random. I'll take the drawing room, though then again, that's my last gem. I think I'll take the nook. Okay, because that's turning left in the right direction. So, right. We've got ourselves just a little piece of advice here. Oh yeah, this is one of those games that recommends you actually have, like, you know, a piece of paper next to you to write things down. Stuff's gonna get complicated over time. Still, grab the key, so we're up to 2. And yeah, I've now got 3 ways I could go, though I've now lost access to all of these potential rooms behind me. So keep on keeping on, and there we go. I can now use one of those keys, or my special silver key, to guarantee a more special room. I'll use the basic one for the time being, though, because, yeah, I'd rather have... Ooh. Lavatory's just a dead end, and that's no good. Guest bedroom would be as well. If I spend my last gem, I can get into security. View inventory of all items are currently in the house. Okay, go on then. Mosey inside to the security room. Very nice. And yeah, we're up to rank 6 right now. This is good, actually. This is positive. So, 1, we get ourselves a, hang on, key card. Good, 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 good. Opens electronically powered security doors. Strikes me as a good idea. We're making good progress on this occasion. Though, blue memos are true. Red memos are lies. We saw a red memo earlier saying the West Wing keys were potentially going to be necessary, which suggests that potentially that wasn't true, and actually maybe the side I'm on right now, the East Wing, is where you need more keys. So, okay, the house is, you know, not above straight up lying to you. You just need to start learning how to navigate its various tricks. I do enjoy, by the way, how, you know, you can literally move around on the screen that's looking at you. That's delightful. So, okay. Is this letting me know what rooms theoretically exist in, like, you know, the mansion? So, say, somewhere there's a swimming pool, if I can just stumble across it, though. Okay, a vault is rather exciting. Like, that strikes me as a good location to get money. On top of that, there's a computer here. Welcome to the security system. So, right. Estate inventory. Somewhere inside this house, not yet collected, is a magnifying glass, an item I could have for this run, but not carry forward into the next one. Although, hang on. You say in the rooms currently available. The list might be updated as you unlock more rooms. Suggesting I've just walked straight past a magnifying glass at some point. Right, well that's embarrassing. Now there's also a password that needs to be entered, and I don't know what that is right now. And finally, keycard system. Security doors that can only be opened with the electronic keycard. Well, I've got one of those, so yeah, right now it's operational. And I can set it to a low, medium, or high. Well, just in case that keycard gets used up, probably low is a good bet. That way, you know, there's going to be less doors in my way. So, okay, that's why coming into the security office is a good idea. We can tone the security down a bit. Oh, and even better, in the event that power is lost, immediately unlock all doors. Okay, well, the security office might just be rather useful. Okay, meanwhile, on the pinboard at the back of the room, access levers are no longer required to grant entry to the antechamber. But that's a red, meaning, okay, we need to locate access levers, because that note is lying to me. And the antechamber is my ultimate destination, because it always spawns right at the top of the house, where things get nasty. So I can't prove it's something to do with the room 46, but the game itself does suggest it might well do. Meanwhile, on the true notes, okay, the higher we get up, there's going to be more electronic locks, and more normal keys needed as well. Well, no harm in moving onwards, I may as well crack our way forward, and okay, just use a conventional key, save the magic key for when we're, like, you know, somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Dark room. Can't see the floor plan while drafting in this room. Okay, well, let me keep moving forward, which strikes me as a good idea, though. Right, that's... oh. You don't mean I can't look at the map? You mean I literally can't see what I'm about to create when I go forward? I'm going to stumble into something else. Oh, that's no flippy good at all. Okay, so at this point we're just basically going blindly forward, so That's locked. So I'd need to use a special key, but I wouldn't know what I was going into. So, you know what? Go over here. Literally no idea what I'm picking right now. Right, we'll go for this one. And this brings me into... Okay, a library. And actually, this has worked out beautifully. Because that's still going upwards. Okay, we're making good progress on this run. This is going pretty nicely, actually. On top of that... Book request form. Books and periodicals requested with this form will be pulled and available the next time you draft the library. So, okay. I'm very literally selecting what's going to be here the next time it shows up. I'm assuming I can only pick, like, one. Yeah, I can only pick one. So, right, the fixed stars is presumably something to do with, yeah, the giant telescope we saw earlier. Then presumably a guide to a pump system. There's going to be a pump system somewhere. Swimbird, Sightseer's Guide, drafting strategy. That seems like a good bet, actually. We'll go for that one. So, okay. We'll leave that there. And yeah, there might be a helpful book here next time I'm visiting. Still, keep on keeping on. We're getting, yeah, dangerously close to the final room here. And this is locked, but that's fine. I've got a special silver key, meaning... Right. The archives no longer be able to see all three of your potential floor plans. Okay, so on this occasion, the lights are going to go out again. I'm going to say the conference room, because, right. Does that mean that magnifying glass might suddenly appear here, so I can catch up with it? That might be nice. Okay, I don't see it. But I do see... John, the safe code is wrong. Okay, so it's not 9083. I'm going to be honest, that's not that helpful, game. Telling me what the safe code is on the lying thing. Not very useful, actually. So, okay. From here, it could go, yeah, this way, away from my target. Well, this way towards it. But I'm increasingly worried. Okay, there's... Oh. Right. Not one that lets me turn right. And I don't have the gems to actually do the drawing room, so I can't go any further that way at all. Which is not ideal. So, okay, do I want 10 steps? Or do I want a bunk room that counts as 2 bedrooms because, yes, some rooms gain effects based on the number of other rooms based on a colour coding because bedrooms are like that pinky purple colour. Yeah, so having 2 bedrooms in one room might theoretically be of use. I'll take the guest room on this occasion, so unfortunately that's now a dead end. But it does get me... Right, so now I've got a gem, day late and $1 short game... And the note here just talks about the billiard room where we solve the darts puzzle. So, okay. If you can't solve a puzzle, just keep exploring and notes might help you out a little bit. So, okay. Nowhere left to go, but onwards. So, I've got a keycard I got from the security office and... Okay, that's fine. I thought things were getting a bit weird there, but it turns out to be all A-okay. Now I need a gem for the kitchen. That would turn me in the right direction. Well, there's a gymnasium where I lose steps. But that would actually give me a way to go 2 directions. I'm going to take the gym. So, okay. We've just got a lovely basketball majibble. And yes, every time I step in here, things get weird. So, John, that literally just takes you back to the dark room. So, okay, that wasn't necessarily that bloody useful. But I'm still looking for, yes, like, access levers. This is locked and I don't have a key. Okay, well that's fine, because I've still got plenty of other ways I can go. Though I'm going to start burning energy in a hurry, because going into any room, it just uses an energy automatically. I think it, like, you know, slowly gets burnt down anyway, just by virtue of, yes, like, walking around. But entering a new room, okay, that's locked. I need keys. I need keys in a hurry. Also, I need to keep an eye out for, yes, where that magnifying glass was, because it's somewhere in here. So, okay. Keep on keeping on. That's locked too. Please don't be locked. Okay. There's a furnace, which means more red rooms. That doesn't seem like a good idea. The drawing room, okay, bare minimum. That gets me multiple ways I can go. So, yeah. Keep on keeping on. By the sounds of it, yeah, this lets me, like, redraw what I'm about to draw. So, step 1, go left. Because now I'm going, yeah, back the way I came. I'm just looking for keys, to be honest. Okay. Closet. Breaker box. Courtyard. Or redraw. The closet could give me the keys I need. Alternatively, the utility closet, the breaker box. The power is out in one of the rooms I've got access to. So, oh yeah. Oh flippin' yeah. Turn on power. Turn on power to the garage. And it's like cabinet at the bottom. Whatever it is, it's scratched out. And there's no switch. But okay. I can turn power on or off. I can also disable the keycard entry system, which thanks to the setting I put in the security office earlier, means, right, now any automatic security door will be opened automatically. Because if it goes offline due to lack of power, it just opens. What I don't understand, though, is what VAC is. Okay. So if we tap you, blue, back to black, red. Okay, but then purple, and sometimes I don't even know what VAC stands for. So you probably shouldn't try to figure this out, John, because if you don't even know what this thing is, like the acronym, yeah, probably you can't solve this. Need to find a note to explain that. Okay, the point is, yeah, take a right here. I'm burning energy in a hurry, but that's fine. We've still got plenty for the time being, at least. The dark room is now functioning. So, okay. What was the... Oh. We've got photos here. Interesting. We've got more photos too. And oh. There's something written on that photo. He's holding something. But I can't read it because... Okay, so we need to find that magnifying glass. Where the cock was that magnifying glass? Because apparently I just walked straight past it at one point. Speaking of which... Okay. HS has requested yet another print of her ladyship. I assume her for one of her rooms in the West Wing, as well as an enlarged print of the enclosed photo. He said the last development was too dark, so keep an eye on that. Now that suggests to me that potentially, depending on, what wing you're in, different stuff might show up. Like, her ladyship's rooms might be more likely to appear over on this side. Meanwhile, over on the east, different things appear. So, okay, we're just learning about this house here step by step. Okay, now I know that the magnifying glass was already spawned into the map when I discovered the security room. Which means it's not in these rooms I'm in right now, or the drawing room, or the utility closet beyond it. It's in one of those rooms to the south, like right back at the start. Also, apparently there's a lockpicking kit somewhere that I've also walked straight past, so oh bloody hell. Somewhere there's a lockpicking kit in the rooms I opened ahead, and a magnifying glass in the rooms behind me. Gotcha. Oh, but I tell you what, I made it to rank 8. So now I've made it back to the dining room. There's a pizza right here. So, okay. I can have a dinner, which gives me, 20 energy right now. And 30 if I'd have gone into the flipping furnace. So, okay. I no longer need to worry about steps. Right, well, I'm glad I flipping remembered about the whole dinner situation. And there she is. I walked straight past her earlier in the parlour with the puzzles. So, right, magnifying glass. I suspect this might be very useful indeed. So, now we've got that, we can, yes, head back to the entrance hall, take a left, which will bring me to, yes, the dining room, back through the chapel, which unfortunately is going to cost me even more money. What can you do? Get a bit of energy back for the bedroom, so that's nice. Through the spare room. Now we should be able to, yes, take a right, past the room where we got a key, and into the actual dark room. But now, we could actually start, you know, having a bit of a poke around at all the different flipping pictures. You know, have a closer zoom in, etc, etc. But presumably what we're looking for is, yeah, anything where there's like something going on in the background, but in particular, text. If we could find a way to locate text that someone's holding, that might be of use. So, right, we've got... Okay, and there's the lockpick kit. Unfortunately, it only occasionally works. So, right. May not be, you know, guaranteed or anything. Now, you, my friend, got ourselves... yeah, a gate here. This is a location outside the house. I've seen it before. The gate's locked with a code. But if I can't zoom in and see it here, hang on. 1128. Right. It's the code for this gate. But also, go back to, yes, the one I thought was particularly interesting over here. Okay. Green memos. I assume that says green. The first bit's covered up, but logically it must be green. Green memos in a Hartley's room are always false. And I've not seen a Hartley's room, and I've never seen a green memo. So, okay. Is it possible the blue memos are actually green? And I'm getting a bit confused about bluey-green colours. It's possible, you know. Okay, that's all I think exists in here. So, right. Step by step here, step by step. Go back to security, because, well then again, actually, wasn't this up here a standard lock? Meaning if we're lucky, try the lockpick. Oh, we flipping got it. And there's a locksmith that will literally sell keys. But if I take that, that's a dead end. No, we can't do that. We've got to be taking the boudoir, surely. We've made it to rank 9. I have never made it this far before. So, okay. This is good. This is very good. Keep your eyes open for anything we can grab, potentially. I'm not seeing anything, but then you didn't see... oh, hang on. Hang on. Is that a photo there? That is a photo. And... well... there's a safe. But zooming in on it doesn't seem to have revealed anything. Okay. Don't see anything I need to be looking at there, but okay. We do know, I was about to say we do know what the safe code is. We don't. We know what the safe code isn't, leaving only 9,998 possible combinations. So thank you, game, I appreciate that. So okay. One more. And we flipping got the lockpick, though. Okay. We can't go into the rumpus room, which would give me a giant pile of money. But we can do a corridor. Give that a go and... oh. Oh, well, this is exciting. This is very exciting, actually. We've made it to... we've made it to a dead end. Literally can't interact with that. But then again, John, the game did specifically say something about access levers, meaning, oh. By any chance, do I need to approach from every angle? Like, you know, if I was to have a legitimate orientation that allows access from east, west, and south, that would work better. I don't know, you know. Possibly. Well, I'm not seeing anything in here that looks anything like an access lever. We need to find, like, you know, the access lever room and spawn that in order to pull it to make that open. So, Okay, we've made, like, some progress here, but I'm also getting tired in a hurry. Because I get tired every time I go through the gymnasium. So, right, keep on keeping on. There's only a handful of rooms left at this point. I'm starting to run low on energy. So, okay, try my luck pick. Gosh darn it, on this occasion that didn't work. So, okay, I'm assuming I can't try again. Okay, I can try again, but I'm assuming it won't work if it fails once. I'm like coin flipping, and on that occasion it didn't work. So, okay. That leaves me with 2 ways to go. North from the passageway, and right in the drawing room. So, okay, try that. Gosh, flipping darn it, that doesn't work. If this doesn't work, we unfortunately might be in a spot of trouble. And we can proceed. Unfortunately, there's only, yeah. Oh, gosh darn it. There's only one way to actually open up a new path. And that's, yeah, opening up the shop. But I need a gem for the shop. But then again, oh. I could take the closet and gamble that one of the 2 items is going to be a key. Or, because I'm in the drawing room, I could redraw and gamble on what's about to appear. I'm going to redraw. And the answer is... okay. I think, unfortunately, yes, that is not going to work out for me. I should have taken the closet and hoped for a key. Because, yeah, now I've got the wine cellar, which gets me 3 gems, which is great. But that, unfortunately, is a dead end. Because, yeah, that leaves only one way I haven't gone. That's the passageway, and, well, one, that's now a dead end anyway. And, okay, even if I were to get a key, I wouldn't be able to make any progress. Okay, the key wouldn't have mattered, because I would have blocked in the single room security or the passageway could have got into by going into this room. So, okay, that would have been the end in either case. But still, I think this has been a very, very good run for me. Because if we just mosey back to the start here, just go straight back out the entrance hall that we were in earlier, and yeah, now we're out in the grounds. And slowly over time, you can open up more and more of them. So, okay, I believe, hang about, if you go this way, through these gates down in this direction, this is where the orchard is. Here we go, and yes, indeed. That tree was chopped down. That's why I didn't see the code previously. Though admittedly, you know, normally, video game characters are much better at jumping than I am. I feel like on this occasion, I could very happily get over this fence without too much trouble. But no, this guy is just refusing to do so without the correct code. So, right. What we need to do now is enter that code we saw. If we're lucky. There we go. We've now opened up a new thing. And this, because it's not in the house, is a permanent upgrade. The house shuffles itself, anything outside the house doesn't. And as a result, okay, I now get an extra 20 energy, lovely. And on top of that, just a mosey round to the back here, gardener's logbook. So okay, someone's just kept a record of their work on the grounds or whatnot. And this isn't just a flavour, this is telling me how things work. So, okay, there are 8 green rooms, i.e. rooms that are like a gardener, but they can only be drafted on the perimeter along the east and west wings, which makes a huge amount of sense because they'd need a lot of light, so they can't spawn on the house interior. So, okay, we're starting to figure out over time how the house fits together. And on top of that, some very specific rooms, if you can get, yeah, green rooms in these spots that are marked as rich soil, presumably that leads to something good. So, okay, that might be something to consider going forwards. And with that, as we return to the house, we're basically out of energy on this occasion. So, when that does happen, basically, you just call it a day. And I do mean that very literally. There's a call it a day button right there, though this has been an excellent run. I've learnt a lot about the house here. And with that, time moves on to the very next day, though, Yes, as I was saying previously, things are now going to be a bit different. The entrance hall and the antechamber are still where they always are. The rest of it, yes, we're now starting afresh. And on top of that, we've lost the lockpicks, we've lost the magnifying glass, we've lost all our spare keys and gems. You start over fresh every morning. Aside, of course, from the permanent additions. The apple orchard that we just got to give me extra energy, and one more thing that I unlocked previously. If you're willing to spend just a tiny bit of energy, because yeah, just running around the grounds uses up a tiny amount, yeah. By getting out of the side of the house, which I did during one of my first runs using a garage, you can get round here, open up this gate, and in doing so, gain access to an external building. Which basically just lets you apply a special condition to the house for that day. So, dig spots are going to be more common if you want to be focusing on green garden stuff. Alternatively, protect yourself from bad red room effects, or indeed get rid of any gem cost to any room at all, and replace it with an energy cost. Still, having completed a very solid day of exploration, I think you get the point. This here is Blueprints, and it is weird. Like, really bloody weird. But I can't deny, I do quite like it actually. I find it quite interesting how you basically have to figure out everything by yourself. There's no one else here. You can ask for advice, you just have to slowly piece it together using the contextual clues lying around the mansion. It's just a really interesting take on a puzzle game. So, well worth it, Luke. I'd say link in the description below, and maybe, just maybe, we'll come back and do a bit more in a live stream if at some point I'm in the mood for a really interesting puzzle game. So hopefully you are looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerds, and this has been the delightful Blueprints. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Jebediah Kerman has not exploded. Oh shit. Why did that happen? 5, 4, 3... Oh, I forgot to turn the thrust on. 5, 4... Is everything else... How is everything... Up to that point, that was going better than anyone expected.